welcome to your mat today. This class is going to be one big metaphor. It's going to be a moment to tap into like everything that we avoid, like all of the hard work, the shame, the ability to stay with something instead of just checking out, grabbing our phones, numbing out, however we choose to do it, whether it's like, watching shows or scrolling on the phone or using substances to mellow out moods and feelings. And this next moment of our lives, this next like 20 to 30 minutes is gonna be all about feeling. So if you're up for the challenge, it's gonna be like a hips don't lie kind of class. You're going to want a block and a band, but you don't need either. The moves will just feel a little bit different, maybe not as like shaky, achy, all those things. So even if you have these tools, you don't need to use them. So I'll have you start in a standing position with your feet about hips width distance, and we're just gonna open up and move the hip joint. So maybe feet a little wider, just rock your hips from side to side. You can bring your hands onto your hips or not. And then you're gonna shift the weight into your left foot and then reach your right knee up all the way around and then step your right foot back behind your left foot. And then you're gonna bring your knee all the way back. So you're playing with your stability, with your balance, and the range of motion in your hips. You can do whatever you want with your hands. I find that keeping them on the hips helps balance. However, you might want to float your hands out to the side as you step back, kind of signifying what's to come, and just move them in any sort of organic way. Just another couple circles on this side. Last one. And then for the next one, we're gonna add a little curtsy squat. So you're gonna lift your right knee up, circle it around, step it behind your left, and then bring your palms to heart, bend both knees. And then all the way back and around. So now warming up even deeper. Starting to really activate the muscles in the legs. So the left leg, your root standing leg, is probably already feeling some responsibility. And more so than responsibility, like big feeling, right? Like this sensation. And the first thing that we sometimes do when we feel big sensation, especially in the realm of hard sensation, is we stop. We take breaks and we figure out how to not feel that. The last 3 here. 2. Step back and hold. Bring your palms to heart center. Hold steady and then add a little tiny pulse just for 3, 2, 1. Step your feet together, lift your arms, and then bring your palms to heart center. Good. Drop your arms alongside your body. Walk your feet apart again. And now let's go to the left side. Circle your left knee up and around, playing with the full range of motion. That's making that big forward circle. And the circle going back and stepping back, shifting the weight in your feet. And maybe this side feels very different. Maybe it feels more fatigued since you were just using it to stand on. This is all very good information, things to know. Like, oh yeah, I feel sensitive in this because it's already been carrying a lot. All right, last 3 just to open the hip. And then we're gonna step back and add the curtsy squat. All right, final time. Good, now you're gonna step back, bring your palms to heart center, bend both knees, and then lift up, big circle feet together. Good, all the way apart, step it back. And your balance does not have to be perfect for this. You do not have to do all of them. And you don't have to go at my pace. Maybe your pace is much slower or quicker. Good, just 3 more. I bet you that your right leg is starting to feel some of the work. You're here, last two. And final one, step it back, bring your palms to heart center, just hold. I like to use the hold to draw my chest back and then level out my chin. And now add some pulses. Good, there's 3 pulses for 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet together, lift your arms up. Good, and then come down onto your mat. Hands and knees. I'm gonna have a little sip of my mushroom coffee. Great, delicious. And I'm gonna grab my block and put my block under my right knee. You might enjoy it to be more under your shin. So you'll just find the setup that works for you. And then notice that my right toes are not tucked on the ground. Good. My left knee is hovering. And I'm gonna make clockwise circles. That's counterclock. I'm gonna make circles going one direction with my left leg. So start doing that. Yeah, just going one direction, not switching directions. And noticing the heat that's quickly building in the body. And maybe the heat that is, coming to the surface of the skin. I sure feel it. And you're just circling in that same direction. Yeah, remembering that discomfort is not the same as pain. We are not out here searching for pain, but we are looking for healthy discomfort as a catalyst for change and growth. Circle directions, go the other way with the knee. Big, huge circles. For 5, 4, last 3, final 2, and then hold it out to the side. Imagine your knees were books and you're closing the book and then opening the book. Good, 10 like that. 9, 8. Let's see if you can keep the weight even in both hands. It's super hard. Last 5, open and close the book for 4. Final 3, last 2. Final 1, keep it lifted, lower your right forearm to the ground, flex your left foot, kick it back, and then bring it in. 5 like that. Then full extension in the left leg and big engagement in the glute when you kick it back. Last 3, 2, kick it back, both hands come to the ground, lower your left knee, slide the block out from below you, and make some big circles going one direction with your hips. Maybe slow, maybe things are tender. Good, and then switch the directions, go the other way. And then press your hips back to your heels for a child's pose. And let the energy start to drop down. And then bring yourself forward onto your hands and your knees. Grab your block and slide it under your left leg now. So your left shin or knee comes onto the block. And again, you're gonna hover your foot off the ground the entire time for those circles. Lift up your right leg, start circling in one direction. Good, and even as you do this and your hip starts to feel something, maybe it takes a little bit, but yeah, there's something opening, something moving deep inside the hips. Yeah, even in those moments, you commit to a strong line of integrity. Good, deep down in your core. Yeah, so you're circling, circling, circling. Even when it's hard, even when it's boring. Yeah, when it's easy, when it gets hot. And switch directions. Go the other way, just keep the movement going. Yeah, faster if you're feeling it. Slower if that suits your needs. You're here for another 5. In 4, you're gonna open and close the book. Last 3 circles. Final 2 circles. Hold the book, hold the leg out to the side, and then open and close the knees. So it looks like out to the side and in. Out, in, up, in. Last 5. Final 4. Just 3, 2, and then hold the leg up. Bring your left forearm down to the ground. You're gonna kick your right foot back, engage your glute. And then bring your knee almost to your elbow, and then kick it back. Just 5 like that, in and out. Kick and engage the glute, flex the foot. Final 3. Last 2. All right, that's 1. Step it back, downward facing dog. Whoa. Pedal it out. Lower one heel, lift the other. Good, shift things around from side to side. Good, and lower your knees down to the ground. Whip your hair back, no, I'm kidding. And then grab your band. If you do not have a band, that's okay. You can do this next part without a band, but I am gonna slip it on. This is a 3 out of 5 dots, so it's like heavy, but not super heavy, but it's not super light. Okay, so I'm gonna put it up kind of high because it's gonna slip and slide. That's the best thing about these. If you have a sturdy cloth one, I want one, send one to me. Okay, so from your hands and your knees, create a tabletop, drop your belly, lift your chest, and then round your spine. Great. Bring your knees a little bit closer so that one's in the center. And now you're gonna lift your left knee off the ground and then kick it back. And then bring it in, but with control. Just lifting and lowering your heel. Okay, up and down. For 5, 4, 3, last 2. Hold it lifted, tuck your right toes under, hover your knee, and then lift and lower the left heel, just for 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower your right knee, keep it going. Left heel up and in. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time, hover your right knee off the ground, lift and lower your left heel. Good, your knee comes in and out just for 3 more. Last 2. All right, and lower it all the way down. Bring your left knee out to the side again, like your knees are books. Use resistance to lower, and then use the band as resistance to lift. Good, up and down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it lifted. Now, lower your right forearm down, just like we did before. Kick your heel back, and then bring your knee in. So it's gonna go in and out, this time using the challenge of the band on your leg, just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both hands come to the ground. Bring your knee to the side. You're gonna open and close that book, up and down. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep it lifted. Last one on the side. Right forearm down. Kick it back. Bring it in. Out and in for 3, 2. Keep the hip open if possible. And then lower it down. Drop your belly. Lift up your chest. Good. Wag your hips from side to side. Good. Circle it out. Could let some of that tension dissipate. So no need to give up, but yeah, let the energy start to come back to center line. And we're gonna switch sides. Bring your left leg to the center. Go reach your right heel up and the knee in and out. It's not very many, just another 3 like this. Just 2 more like this. And now press your hands firm into the ground, tuck your left toes, and you're gonna lift your right knee with your left knee hovering. Good, the right knee comes in and out for 5, 4, 3, 2. Good, lower your left knee. And then again, the motion stays the same, in and out. For 5, 4, 3, 2, tuck the toes, lift, up and down. 3, 2, woo, okay, out to the side again, like your knees are booked in and out, just like that. Open and close for 5, 4, 3, 2, good. Now lower your left forearm onto the ground. You're gonna open up your hips, so reach your right hip to the side, then you're gonna kick it back and bring it in and out. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to opening and closing the book. You've got 3 of those, 2 of those. Final 1, and then open up to the side. Kick your right heel back, and then knee to chest. Last time, in and out for 3, 2, 1. Come on to your hands and knees. Wowie. Okay, so then now you're gonna flip over onto your back. I'm gonna keep the the band on my legs, but you don't have to. I'm gonna have a block nearby. And I'm gonna lay all the way down on my back. And just feel a long spine on the ground. And take a moment right here to connect to your breath. And maybe you drop your fingertips lightly on your belly and feel that uplift. And then that big drop. And now bring your feet hips width distance. And you're gonna just gently peel from your tailbone. It's almost like you're gonna tuck your tailbone and roll your spine up. And then slowly roll all the way down. It doesn't have to be the biggest one. Good, at the bottom. Create that natural architecture in the low back again. And then you're gonna roll up, tuck your tailbone, roll everything, and then lower everything back down. Just kind of playing with this beautiful, like wringing out, rolling out, maybe like a massage of the spine. And now lower all the way down. From here, you're gonna just lift the hips up and then lower more than halfway. So your hips barely touch the ground. They're not just relaxing down. They're just big pulses up and down, just for 10. Good, up and down for 9. It's squeeze your glutes at the top each time and press your heels into the ground. Last 3, 2, we're gonna hold it at the top. In stillness, in steadiness, in all of your strength. Yeah, even though your lower body might already feel fatigued. Now you're gonna add a little tiny pulse right there, not full range of motion, just a little baby pulse. And making sure your knees don't fall into center line, especially if you have that band around your thighs. Okay, back to full range of motion. Almost down and then all the way back up. Again, so just hovering and then lifting. Good. Last 7, only 10 total. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then hold there at the top. Good, nothing to do, no movement to make. Yeah, just committed to feeling whatever sensation has begun to arise. And then add those little pulses right there. Little ones, tiny ones. For 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Good, full range of motion. Lower, lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold at the top. Good, nothing to do, no movement to make. Okay, go for it. Pulse right there. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, one more set. Lower until that hover, and then lift back up for 10. All the way up for 9. Lift up for 8. Good, lower and then lift for 7. Good, up and down for 6. Good, just 5 more. Keep your thighs pressing outward into the band. Last 3, 2, amazing, hold at the top. And then add those little pulses right there for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold, hold, hold. Oh my gosh, come all the way down. Bring your feet wide, drop your knees together. Go relax your outer thighs and glutes. Good, let your hands fall to the sides. And then windshield wiper your knees to the left and to the right just to reset the low back and the hips. Good. You are invited to take that band off. If the band is giving you that extra little bit that you need, then go ahead and keep it. Good. Otherwise, you're gonna lift up your hips and your feet are gonna come to the edges of your mat if you're using a mat. If you're not using a mat, your feet are just a little bit wider than hips width. And your toes point out so your heels point in. You can think of your feet as making like a big, huge, wide V. And you're gonna lift up and lower. Just back to that same thing, just hovering. Good. Up and down with the hips. Just 5 like that. 4, 3, 2, stay lifted. Now, you're gonna turn your toes into center so your knees come together. And then you're gonna open up your toes to the side. So all you're doing is almost like pivoting on your heels. Your heels actually stay on the ground the whole time, but the balls of your feet go out and in. And so you're just moving. It seems like you're just moving your heels, but in result, your entire femur bone, so it's from the feet, but all the way up into your upper leg bones, they're internally and externally rotating in your hips. The last 3 like this, 2, and now toes out. You're gonna lift your hips up, especially if you lost some of that. And now as you bring your toes in, you'll drop your hips low and then lift up high when you turn your toes out. Yeah, just like that for 10, up and down. Yeah, maybe you go quicker. 10 is just a benchmark. It's not like a very serious number. Good, it's something for me just to add a number that helps to put some sort of container on a thing that can be potentially endless. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it out to the side, add a little pulse for 5, 4, 3, okay, come all the way down. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, and then interlace your fingers under your left leg. Feel a nice hip stretch on the right side. Yeah, probably feels so intense right now. Good, and now you're gonna bring your right knee into your chest, and then guide it all the way to the left side of your mat for a twist. Good, and then carry yourself back to the center. Keep your right foot on the ground, cross your left ankle over your right, and maybe you don't even need to lift your right foot off the ground because the sensation is so there. Otherwise, lift it up to intensify things. Good, and then grab your left knee, bring it into your chest, extend your right leg, and then send your left leg all the way to the right side. So you get this nice twist and opening along the spine, the low back. Good, and then carry yourself back to the center. Let your whole body neutralize and relax, and just take one big, full, deep breath in. And then a deep breath all the way out. Roll yourself over, press yourself up. Nothing about that was easy, so make sure to drink plenty of water and let all of that integrate into your body. Okay, see you next time.